People. I am not a computer. I do have a really good brain. I know a lot of us have a lot of brain injuries from abuse from technology. Okay. But I sat there and I was watching that other video. With sweet love and devotion, deeply touching my emotions, I just want to stop and thank you, baby. I just want to stop and thank you, baby. How sweet it is to be loved by Earl. I know it was Marvin. I'm like, it's Marvin Gaye. Yeah. As soon as I heard it, when I was listening to the video we made, the prayer connecting to people to help us, fix technology so we can use it to live truthfully and live faithful love worldwide. It's Marvin Gaye, y'all. I love Marvin. Guys, I am a human being that has brain injuries, just like most of you that are being abused by Wi-Fi to make you feel hopeless. Okay, so certain things, I'm just focused on living that Lord's Prayer. I love you, Daddy, but you didn't know I was born. That's a purpley dress. I'm being silly. It's Will Ferrell, Elf, right? But so I'm like, yeah, that's Marvin Gaye, y'all. That's Marvin Gaye. How sweet it is to be loved by you. It's like sugar sometimes, right? Marvin's one of my favorites. I used to tell, when I first started making these, and I used to tell that before I even started making these videos, that of Jesus saying it'd be singing like Marvin Gaye, right? I'm joking, but I love Marvin Gaye. When I was a kid, he was like one of my favorites when I was real young. Yeah. It was not the Let's Get It On. It wasn't How Sweet It Is. Ain't that peculiar? You do me wrong, but still I'm crazy about you. And I bet you wonder how I knew about your plans to make me blue. Well, some other guy, between the two of us guys, I love you more. Right? It wasn't those. It was one of my favorite albums of all time. That's from my Andrew. I love Andrew. Favorite, one of my favorite words. It was whoa, whoa, mercy, mercy me. Oh, things ain't what they used to be. Oh no. That was that will always be one of my favorite albums and expression through music. In my life, I've loved you more. Right? Is Marvin Gaye's What's Going On. Hey baby, what you no good? I'm just getting back, but you knew I would. War is hell. When will it end? When will folks start really getting together again? Are things really changing like the newspapers say? What else is new, my friend, besides what I read? Right? Yeah, can't find no work, can't get no job, my friend. Money is tighter than it's ever been, right? And tell me, babe, how in the world have you been? What's happening, brother? I want to know what's in, right? I love that song, right? It wasn't real popular on the radio when I was a kid. What's Going On was Mercy, Mercy Me, Mercy, Mercy Me. And one of my favorites, because it helped me, understand. I grew up in the barrio, so I did have an understanding of, make me want to holler, throw up both of my hands, either at the end of a gun from a policeman or at a church saying help, Money, we make it. Before we see it, you take it. Panic is spreading. God knows where we're heading. Oh, maybe want to holler what they do my life. Maybe want to holler what they do, No, baby. This ain't living. No. Right? Everybody with good taste loves that album, right? Flying high in the friendly skies without ever reaching the ground. So stupid-minded, right? Don't talk about my father, I want to know who really cares, who's willing to try to save our sweet world that was destined to die, right? That's why I love that song, right? It's one of my favorite albums, I just completely adore that album. And then when I got older, Giant Steps in a Love Supreme, Kind of Blue is also one of my favorite albums. Anybody else? A lot? Yeah, no. I heard he could be kind of a jerk, but I really like Miles Davis. John Coltrane is my favorite. Okay. I will always adore. I will always love you. I will always let like Wallace Roney with Miles Davis. I always be that way about John Coltrane. When I heard him play the saxophone, and then a lot of his solo stuff, I just completely adored his expression on the saxophone through jazz. I love Supreme. I love kind of Blue Train. That's one of my favorite albums. Yeah, and then his up-tempo stuff, Sidney's Song Flutes, Cousin Mary, Like Sonny's one of my favorite songs, jazz songs of all time. Anybody else likes Like Sonny by John Coltrane? You don't have to. Jazz is definitely an acquired taste, and a lot of people don't like jazz. I completely adore jazz. Okay. I'm an athlete that could do things other people couldn't do and then got abused for doing it. So I love jazz. Okay. You have to do it this way. Fuck you. Okay. And walk back. No, you need it. Straight no chaser. There you go. Okay. I love jazz music. Okay. I love jazz. I always have ever since I was a little kid. My favorite dance, improvisational jazz, which a lot of people refer to as hip hop. And my two favorite dancers when I was a kid, Faird and Harold Nicholas. Okay. When I was a kid, I was like, wow, I didn't think I could. I realized later, if I really focused, I could do all the things that the Nicholas brothers could do. Like with Gus Williams is like, wow, you turned out to be more physically gifted than your favorite basketball player. Yeah, that's interesting. That's wow. I did not expect that. You turned out to be more physically gifted than your favorite football player. Yeah, than Gil Sayers. I get that. But thing was that's relevant to me. Okay, Jesus gave us the perfect commands with the perfect sacrifice to live a life free from their being abused by tribalism and violent extortion and human invention for manipulation and stuff like that. And life eternally will be better for Gil Sayers, will be better for Gus Williams, will be better for Harold and Faird and Dorothy and their daughter, right? And that's life's eternal grace is infinite. That should be as important to you as it is to you. Do me wrong, but still I'm crazy about you. Stay away too long and I can't live without you. Yeah, ain't that peculiar? Ain't that peculiar? Peculiarity. You should care about it just as much as me and Marvin Gaye, right? Don't talk about my father. God is love. God is love. Love your brother. Love your father. Love your mother. Woo, 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 woo. All right. That's a good tone. Yeah. I understand it's based off of teachings. It's the intent. It's pretty much Solomon. There's the intent in the letter. Right. And when people say, all he asks of us is that we give each other love. Right. He left us a book to believe in. Holy, holy, right? So, all y'all, you don't have to. That's the cool thing about truth is truth isn't based on opinion. When we're living the Lord's Prayer, you don't have to like Marvin Gaye's What's Going On. You don't have to like John Coltrane and Johnny Hartman. You're too beautiful. You don't have to like it. You don't have to like Dedicated to You. You don't have to like Charade by Johnny Hartman. You don't have to like Someone to Watch Over Me by Nancy Wilson. You don't have to like, anything by Ella Fitzgerald. You can go, I just hate listening to her. It makes me feel like they're running a rake across a chalkboard when I listen to Ella Fitzgerald sing. Okay, but you live in the Lord's Prayer, right? It's all good, right? Punchy at a barbecue, it's all good, right? it's all good. Right? But we ain't gonna get to all good till we live in the truth of His sacrifice, right? That no love was shared the day that our lives were spared. Tell Him I love Him, and it'll be all right. Tell Him be all right, be all right. Boom, 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 right? You don't need to play the Apollo to pay your bills, right? You don't have to be at a place where they destroy people's aspirations and dreams because they tell them they're just not any good. Here comes Jean the dancing machine, and Eunice is just devastated because she can't sing, right? Oh, shut up, Mama, right? Everybody else like the Carol Burnett show. My mom loved the Carol Burnett show. It's a cracker. And Mama's Family was one of her favorite skits. Mom, you have a sadistic sense of humor. Oh, Archie! It's like when she used to watch All in the Family. It's like, how can you watch this? It was painful for me to watch. Okay, because Archie was so bigoted and so mean and stupid, and he was the subject of the story. Usually, when you're watching the Evans family, it's Bookman or somebody else comes in the house, and you're like, oh, I understand why he kicked his ass. He act like a fool, and he's going, okay, so he whooped his butt. I get it, right? I have also been there and had that happen to me. I understand where James is coming from. But when the subject of the thing is like, I don't know if I can watch this all the time. Try, meathead, and it was different. And my mom would sit and laugh, and I was like, it's almost painful. Like I had trouble when I was young with the Lucille Ball show, because I was like, just let her be in the show, Ricky. But that was the whole premise of the show. Just give her a chance, and then if it doesn't work, if it don't work out, then you can tell her, stay home and raise Ricky, Lucy. You know what I'm saying? And so, you're such a dizzy redhead, I don't know what to do, Lucy. Let's babaloo, Lucy, Lucy. I love you too, Lucy. Oh, Ricky, let me be in your show, Ricky. Right? And so it used to irritate me, because when there seems to be a very just viable solution to the problem, just give it a try. But there was always this problem, and I was like, it's so fun. I had trouble with that when I was young, like Bill Cosby with Tonto, no go to town because the bad guys will be there and beat the snot out of you. Why are you going to send the Native American guy into a bigoted town to investigate criminal activity in the town, Lone Ranger? Dress up in your little, white panhandler, gold panning, crazy old white guys, and let Tonto go, okay, I must stay away from them crazy bigoted white people in town to this cricket, right? The hell is wrong with you, Kimosabe? You don't know? Well, I'm foolish. Silly of me to go around and brag about the love I find. Tonto. In Espanol, it means foolish. Okay, yeah. Silly of me, you're just a lover out to score, and I know that I should be looking for more. Oh nub, stop making a fool of me, right? Anybody else? You don't have to. When we're living the Lord's Prayer, you don't have to have good enough taste to like Silly by Denise Williams. Get out of here. I am not a tyrant. Okay? You can be that stupid. You don't like that song? I'm going to keep my opinion to myself. But fortunately, truth is not based on opinion, right? Right. Okay. Isn't that fortunate? Yes, it is. Right. I think it's absolutely gorgeous and beautiful that all's forgiven and we're not heading for heartache. Right? Are you really ready for love, girl? Or is it just the lonely talking again, right? Or just the lonely talking again, right? Boom, doo, doo. Anybody else particularly fond of Gerald Olsen in the Manhattans? Or is it just me? You don't have to have good enough taste to like that song. It feels so good to be loved so bad. Am I losing you? Shining Star. Kiss and Say Goodbye. Wish that you could be mine. You don't have to say, that's a good song. The premise sucks, but I like the song. Me too. No Tell Lover. Also premise sucks, like song. Good. Yes, to me too. Or it's Chicago. Come on now. Okay. Peter Cetera, love his voice, right? You don't have to. You can sit there. I hate the way that guy sings. It sounds like a rake across the chalkboard. The horns things, it's annoying. What would you rather listen to? Like that one guy with the mullet from Wickenburg, right? That came into Blockbuster, and me and Chris were sitting there and we going through movies, right? And he's asking about good movies, right? And we're like, well, what's a good movie? There's a Bronx Tale. That's a good movie. And the guy looks at it and goes, no, an Italiano with a goddamn mole? That's not the Italian way. And so, you know what he ended up renting? Deliverance. Okay. And Chris are both like, and Chris Merchant's from Wickenburg, right? That's my neighbor, right? You have to live next to that guy? Yeah. Boom-a-doom-doom-doom, boom-a-doom-doom-doom. We're so sorry. We're so sorry. We're sorry you have to live next door to that guy and can't watch a good movie, which has Paul Montori and Robert De Niro and because me and Chris are like, Bronx Tale? That's a really good movie. Deliverance, particularly disturbing. It's very particularly disturbing. There are particularly disturbing points in Bronx Tale. Okay, but it's hopeful, right? Shabab, shabab. Ooh, my love must be a kind of blind love. I can't see anything but you. Right? Are the stars out tonight? I don't know if it's cloudy or bright. You don't have to like that. Even by Flamingos. Okay. You don't have to like that song. I don't know what the hell's wrong with you, but you don't have to. Right? It's not required to live in the kingdom of heaven to like I Only Have Eyes for You by the Flamingos. Even though it's one of Diana Ross's favorites. You don't have. She's not the boss here. Okay. No, Aretha Franklin said that. She goes, we all had the biggest crush. We all knew each other and hung out and wanted to make it big singing. And our favorite group was the Flamingos. We thought they had the best harmonies ever. Ever. Up till then. And up till then, it was pretty hard to argue with that, that they, wow, even now that I've come so far, I wonder where you are, I wonder why it's still so hard to fight you. Even now, right? It is, wow. When you hear that song, la-di-da-di-dum, la-di-da-di. You can't help but go, oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. Do-bop-shop. Ooh, right? Do-bop-shop. Wow. The lead singer, I agree, his voice is wonderful, right? I remember when I was a kid and I used to listen to it on the old Dick Bartley and Dick Clark shows. That has to be one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard. Their harmonies are absolutely amazing, and that man's voice is wonderful. All right. Then I heard the Platters and went, Tony Williams' voice just might be just as good as the lead singer from the Platters. I think their library is probably a little bit, more in depth than theirs, and they got a lot of really good material, and they tore it up, and wow. They asked me how I knew my true love was true. Oh, I of course replied, something here inside cannot be denied. Do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do. Oh, they said someday you'll find all who love are blind. Right? As everybody loved Tony Williams and the Platters, right? No, you see. We're living the Lord's Prayer. We don't have to listen to Stephen A. Smith sit there and debate. I don't think there's any way that they'll win the last game of the year at the Grammys of the Whammies and the Whammies of the Grammys. I just don't see how the Platters are going to take the award from the Beatles this year. Whatever, I don't know. Doesn't matter. Does it really? No. I don't know. The Platters, was that song, was pre-Beatles? I don't know. Do you care? No, not really. It don't matter to me. Who wrote the songs that make the whole world sings? That was David Gates. Did Barry Manilow ever record it and sing it? I don't know. Is it really that relevant? No, not really. We're living the Lord's Prayer. That works. Hey, Barry, you want to sing It Don't Matter to Me? I like David Gates too. Okay, Barry, I don't want your autograph. I won't scare you on stage. Do you want me to scare you? Okay. Anybody else particularly fond of Barry Manilow? Yeah, I like Barry Manilow, man. Yeah, he's really good, man. I love his better lyrics and tempo to Jennings and Kerr. I remember all my life raining down as cold as ice. Shadows of a man, face through a window, crying in the night. The night rolls into morning, it's just another day. Happy people pass my way. Look into their eyes, I see a memory. I never realized how happy you made me. Oh, Messiah, you came and you gave without taking, and we sent you away, oh Messiah. And we need you today, right? Can you handle this? You know what I'm saying? Can you handle the truth? Then let's do this, man, right? Let's do this. Why wait another minute longer to expect the perfection of truthful, eternal, faithful love and not put forth any effort to think it and speak it and then live it? Why do we still have to watch? He's one of the most amazing fighters in the history. He beat the shit out of other people for entertainment to bet make-believe money on it and possibly lose the car. Is that Mike Tyson's kid? Is it legitimate or illegitimate? What's legitimate or illegitimate? Does the woman get lots of money for having the child or did not get any money at all, but then went to a court and had a scientific test done on the child and then said, Mike, you owe me money? Okay, just live the Lord's Prayer. The right people will be in the right place to make sure that the child is loved. And you won't have to go to an institution for indoctrination and indoctrination to have to pay to get your family out of secular abuse in Newport News and in Hampton, right? It's wrong to treat people the way we treat people. It's the 21st century, guys. Okay? A long time ago, and all you unicorns, okay? You looked from those rocks and you cried. Right? All you unicorns. You know they ain't them unicorns' real voices, right? So, I connect to people in prayer. And when I know who you are, I have a stronger connection in prayer to you if you had an effect on my existence. So if I know who you are, you can guarantee that Jesus of Nazareth eternally knows who you are. I mean, Jesus knows you. Okay. Like when Charles Barkley, God wants me to... Yes, the Lord did want you to win the NBA Finals. Did he care if you won? Hey, Mom wanted the Suns to win, but Mom had a bigger crush on Michael Jordan than she did on Charles Barkley, and always will, Sorry, Charles, but Mike is cute. Right? He's a cute kid. Mom had a crush on Michael. Yeah, her biggest crush was on Clyde Drexler, which is easy for most people to understand. Lisa Leslie gets it. Yeah, she does. Okay, but she had the big crush on Sean Kemp. Yeah, and so Sean Kemp and Clyde, but Clyde was her biggest crush of all time, and all professional sport athletes. We had T-shirts and posters, and Treese, same thing. Oh, Clyde is so gorgeous. He's just gorgeous. Does that go into Clyde's head? Well, he deserves it. He was a nice guy. He's very respectful of his mom. He wasn't abusive to his teammates. He wasn't abusive to the people he played with. He was very, very handsome, very charming, and very kind. That night that I met him at the Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Phoenix, Arizona, he didn't have to take the time to explain to me what was going on. He didn't have to take the time to stand up for me, respecting my mother, where his teammate disrespected my mom. He didn't have to be that good of a person. He could have just been like, okay, sign the autograph and left. But he didn't. He had a very adult, considerate, kind, and caring conversation with a kid. He talked to me like, this is the kind of stuff you're going to deal with if you become a professional basketball player. Same way Danny Bennett and other people did. He didn't tell me, you're 6 foot and you're Mexican. You really think you're going to play in the NBA? He said, you can ball? Yeah. I believe you. Okay. And he talked to me about it. Okay. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here, And so other people, If you judge a book by its cover, then you judge a look by the lover. That's a look, the look of love, right? So never assume anything. It's like Rocky's grandma used to say, you know what, assuming me is making an ass of you and me both, right? So don't assume other people are going to live the gospels for you and you're going to backdoor your way into the kingdom of heaven. Even when we're living the kingdom of heaven here on earth, you're not going to appreciate the rapture. I'll feel the power, but you won't. No, you won't, because I can't make you love me if you don't. I can't make your heart feel something that it won't, right? Everybody else around here love Marianne and love Michelle. If you don't like that kind of food, well, you'll like hers and she'll show you how. These are how she makes black-eyed peas. This is how she makes collard greens. This is how she makes cornbread, or we call it Johnny cake when you put sugar in it. And this is how she makes macaroni and cheese. And this is her fried chicken. And that's her ribs. And you will like it. Why? Because love, true love, is forever, right? My little buttercup, sweet little buttercup, right? So let's save Patrice Martinez from stress, from a toxic environment, so we get more time crushing on the people we crushed on when we were young, and we can crush on them until we're very, very old. So people don't think a lawsuit is going to give us more time with Michelle Nichols, okay, who had very good taste in where she wanted to live. Yeah, if she was living up in the Gila National Forest area, I mean, she liked a lot of the kind of things that I did, and I was right to crush on that woman. Life's eternal and grace is infinite. I will always have a crush on Michelle Nichols. How about you? Okay. I love you guys very much. Don't be a hater. Don't believe your lies. Understand this truth. Tell yourself the truth. Stand up for the truth. Be the proof of that truth. And then faithfully love everybody starting now. Do it now. Empathy and respect. Don't play games with it. Is it right? Then do it, right? When I hear do it, Daddy. Me too, Kate. I love Kate Addison Parsons. She's so cute, yeah. I love, they abused my Amy Sue, and her kids are wonderfully cute and sweet. And all the hell that Amy went through and her kids and how it affected them, if you guys had stood up for the Lord's Prayer at any time, they'd be radically different people, but you would too. So don't you look at me so smugly and say that I'm always bad. Who are you to judge me and the life that I've lived? I know that I'm not perfect, and I don't claim to be. But the thing about it is the word perfect in applications of physics, of linguistics, of rabbinic religion is being mature enough to have unwavering faith and not allowing the seduction of lie to get you to accept imperfection over perfection. So you are perfect. You want to live the Lord's Prayer eternally and pass it on. Now claim to be and claim it. Okay, guys? I love you. Nobody loves Bob Marley more than me. Okay. In prayer, we're like this. His cousin got his back. Okay. And I got his back and he got mine. Okay. One love, one heart. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and we will feel all right. All right. Pass it around. I love you. All right. Peace out.